making money is one of the easiest things to do. Making money is one of the hardest things to do. I'm going to break down some of the things that you might be going through when you're trying to make more money. And I hope that this will kind of, number one, enlighten you to kind of see some of the hurdles that you have internally, or the obstacles that you have internally that continue to stop you from being able to make money. Because money is really just like math. I wrote it up here. It says, making money 2 + 2 = 4. One of the biggest reasons why I find that when I was going on my business journey, and when I would have successes and failures in business, or successes and failures within my business, was that I was not paying attention to the math. And I'm not saying the math like you add up the money and you got to have this amount of money over the expenses that you have. Yes, that's part of business. But this is what the things that you do. The things that you do, the way that you look at your business, the way that you look at the things that have happened to you in your life is technically the math. Because a lot of, I would bet that some of the things, when you look at what you're doing to grow your business, or if you're looking to start a business, you are probably doing things out of order. If you're not successful, all you have to do is look at your results. Or you're not taking into account the math of this plus this equals this. What you're thinking is that you do something and you do another thing, and that's supposed to equal success, and it won't ever equal success. So I'm going to kind of break that down in this video. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. I think that this will be a very educational video for you, especially if you're trying to start to get into business at the beginning, and if you are already in business and you're just struggling, or you're trying to get to the next level in your business. So first, if we think about business, we have to first think about where we are at. So no one gets into business without wanting to have more. Like, that's the internal feeling that we have. We're like, I want to start a business because either I want more time, freedom, all of that stuff, or more money. So first, let's just look at, this is the first part of that math equation, is knowing where you're at. So let's put in here all of the things that you have right now. So these are the things that you have. So like, you got your car, your house, your jewelry, clothes, furniture, like all of the different things that you have now. Now, this is something that I want you to realize that you may not realize, is that also within this box is your income. Is how much money you think you're worth. The reason why you don't have to, like, you obviously you think that you're worth more money because you have this feeling inside of you that you want more. But internally, what you are telling the world is that this is what you believe you're worth. Now, that can be a hard pill to swallow for some people, because they're like, I know that I could be a successful business person. I could be a successful artist. I could be in the best shape of my life. And this is just not only about money, but money is very important, because money is the extension of all of those things that we're able to do. So this is your box. And believe it or not, but you will notice, is that this box is really your comfort level. The reason why you have everything that you have in this box, your income, everything, is that you feel comfortable right there. And now, when you look to do anything to get out of that comfort level, so let's just say that you start your business, or you want to make some changes in your life. So let's just say you want a luxury car, like an expensive luxury car. You want a bigger house. You want more money. You want to travel more. You want all of these things. Well, the first feeling that you have when you attempt to even probably think about this, and it's different for everybody, and I'm going to get into that in a second, but this here is going to bring on an uncomfortable level. Now, you might be saying, well, why is this uncomfortable? Because you haven't been there before. You don't actually know what it'll take to get this done. You have that feeling inside of you. You have that feeling like, hey, I'm going to start a business that's going to get me here. So this is, we're getting to that 2 + 2. So a lot of people, what they think is that you can have this same level of comfort, and then you can put that same level of comfort on this level here. And that math will not work. That math will not work, because if it would work, you would just be able to flip the next day and just get right here. And you don't have to take my word on it. I know I say this a lot, but the reason why I say it a lot is because you could just look at your results, because there's a lot of fake people on YouTube making videos. They don't make no money other than what they take from people selling courses and all of that stuff, or from their channel monetization. But when they get into business, they don't know anything about building a business. And what I'm teaching you here, this is very important, because I help business owners. If you try to take this level of comfort and put that level of comfort on top of this right here, it's not going to work. You're going to draw back. The reason why you're going to draw back is because it's going to bring up all types of doubt. Now, the number one doubt, or the number one feeling that you'll have is uncertainty. Everything that we do in life, the reason why you do this, you make your car payments, you go to work to make your money, you have certain amounts of nice things within this box here. But when you try to go outside of this box and it brings up this uncomfortable level on the this uncomfortable feeling on the inside, the reason why you had that uncomfortable feeling on the inside is because there is no certainty. You don't know if you do a certain action, and this is the way that I'll draw it out. If you do this action plus this action, will it equal this here? That's what it really comes down to. Just like I said, 2 + 2 = 4. So if I do this action plus this action, will it equal this right here? And you will most likely not make the move because of uncertainty. But a lot of people do make the move. And then you might be saying, well, Steve, I do make the move. And then I'll ask you, is this happening to you? It's going to be one of two things. So if you make the move, so the first thing we like we said right here, let me just go back. So the first thing is we said, if you make an action plus another action, you want those actions to equal your new level, but the problem is that you're uncomfortable with this level because there's uncertainty. You don't know for sure, that if this action plus this action will equal this here. But you have this feeling inside that I want more. I want more. I want more money. I want a better car. I want to live like those people live. I know that there's more that I can do. You have that feeling. And then you start to link up and you start to say, okay, let me find what other people are doing and follow what they're doing. That's why the education and information industry is so huge. But let me tell you the problems with it. Number one, if you look at the education and you look at the success rate on people who actually sign up for programs and follow a course that someone built, it is like less than 1%, like 1/10 of the people who get that information are successful. Less than even a small percentage will even go through the program. So that's what makes it very difficult. But I'm going to give you some answers on why that is happening. Why does that happen? If this person can do it, why can't I follow their information and do it? Well, one of the biggest problems is that it has nothing to do with the information. I think that if the individual is credible that is putting together the information and they have really done it, that you should be able to just follow that information and do it. But what most people will do is that they will put their own spin on it rather than just following what the recipe is. And then after you have success, you start to put some of your own recipe on top of that. So we understand that we're inside of this box. This is everything that you have right now. This is your comfort level. This is how you live your life day to day. You want more luxury cars, bigger house, more money, travel, more time with the family, all of that. But it brings a level of uncomfortable level because you don't do that on a daily basis. Anything that you're not used to doing is going to bring on uncomfort. And the reason why it brings on uncomfort is because you know that you're going to have to take certain actions, and there's uncertainty within those actions because you don't know for sure. You could do all of the planning, you can have business plans, you can have all types of stuff, but you don't know with certainty that the actions that you take will equal what's going to happen here. So now let's look at the two things that could be happening. We got two things that could be happening. So this is you. Smile on your face. You want to get this done. We won't put a nose on there. So two things could be happening. I'm going to talk about one on the internal side, and I'm going to be talking about one on the external side. So let's first start with the external. So we got external, internal. I spelled that right. So on the external side, one of the biggest problems that you'll probably run into is that the people that you are getting your information from, they are not giving you credible information. So if you followed it to a T and you're not successful with it, you're probably, the information was not credible. This happened a lot with people when I was younger with real estate. They were selling the real estate courses, but when you looked at the programs and you actually went through it, the information was outdated. Even a lot of the laws had changed in the states that they used to do that, or it was only something that was pertaining to the state that they lived in. We see this a lot with internet marketing, where you'll have, like, people had websites. They would have websites selling products on Amazon or doing all type of Shopify and all of this type of stuff. And then they would get into the business and they would this is not working the way that they said it would work. So on this external side, it's going to either be outdated info, or the info is hard to put to work, or the information is not credible. Right now, I see this mostly where the information is not credible. Well, I'll say I see all of them. I see all of them because it's actually hard to do a business. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's easy to run a business. You're going to have to put in work. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about on that internal side. So let me answer some of these real quick. So outdated information, the way that you would find out is if the information that you're looking at to put into work is outdated, is by actually putting it into action. So whatever that individual told you to do, they told you to do for the actual business, to put the business in place, and to do if whatever marketing or whatever they said to put into place to get to be able to build that business. If you're dedicated and you feel that this was the business for you, you need to put that to the test 100%. You need to do your 2 plus 2 equals 4 and see if it equals out to what they said it would equal out. Most of the time, what you will find, even if the information is outdated, you will be able to see how things have changed, and then you will be able to put your secret sauce on top of it. That's something that actually happened to me when I first got into internet marketing. Is I was like, hey, the stuff that they're teaching people, this stuff won't work. But I did go ahead and do exactly what they said to do. And I was saying, and I started seeing little gaps and holes that would show that either they didn't know what they were talking about, or what they were talking about was outdated. But if I just made these tweaks, it would work. And I became very successful with my online company by doing that. Information is hard to put into place. No matter what, when you're going to do a business, it's going to be hard to put into place. But I want you to think about that 2 plus 2 equals 4. If it was easy to do, everybody would do it. If it was easy to do, everybody would do it. So if you think about your 2 plus 2, if you just say, if it was easy to do it, everybody would do, and you say, if it was easy to do it, everybody would do it, that's your 2. And then your plus is you just got to do it if you're going to dedicate yourself towards that business. That would be your other 2, and then that would equal your 4. That would be your equation. So you can't so to reverse that, what I said earlier, that people will think that they could do something and plus something else and it won't equal that, is that you can't think that you're just going to get into a business and it's going to be easy and you're not going to put in the work and that's going to equal out to success. Like, those two things do not exist together. You're going to have problems. You're going to have ups and downs. All of these things you're going to run into while you're running your business, while you're trying to get it off the ground. All of these things are going to happen, and they have to happen for you to be able to build that business and put a good foundation under that business. The next thing is, information is not credible. We run into this a lot on YouTube. You will see where people are saying, hey, get this course and you're going to be able to be successful like me, or if you do this, you're going to be able to be successful like me. And we will see that these individuals are only just selling courses. Some of them are just repackaging other stuff that other people did, and they're really not successful in the business that they're teaching you to be successful in. Now, I get this question a lot. They'll be like, well, they sound so convincing, so how can I know if that individual is really successful with what they're teaching me to be successful in? Number one is that they need to demonstrate it. What I do when I demonstrate, I have plenty of videos, I have webinars, and I show people, this is what I'm doing with my business. I show you that I'm generating leads and I'm generating sales. No, I'm not going to tell you exactly all of my companies, because I don't want to get all of my secrets out to my competition. Like, I have companies that are not in this internet stuff. I have medical company. I have a retail store. I don't want to let other retail competition know exactly what we're doing, but I will teach exactly what you can do, and then you can utilize that information for your business. But I will show you, like, if you run into problems with your advertisement, this is what you need to do. If you're not generating leads, this is exactly what you need to do. If you're not generating sales, this is exactly what you need to do. Did you do this? Did you check when the calls came in? Are you tracking the calls? Are you, what type of scripting are you using? Are you trying to sell people too fast? Like, all of these different things that because I've experienced them in my businesses, when people come to me and they're like, I'm having problems with a program that I purchased from somebody, and I can look at it and say, okay, well, what did they tell you to do if you were not generating leads? Well, they just said, do this. And I'm like, if you do that, and you've probably tried it already and you saw that it didn't work. And that's when you start to find these holes in these programs that people are putting out there, because they don't work. The reason why they don't work is because they don't really do it. All they do is just sell you programs. They want you to go out there and try to figure it out and do the hard work. So that's what most people are running into. Now, let's look on the internal side. The internal side can affect and make it harder on this side, because on the internal side is where you're going to have the doubts. Where do those doubts come from? They can come from family. They can come from your environment, what you see on a daily basis, how you feel when you get up, how you feel, your thoughts about the things that you have to do. All of this stuff will feed into you every day. So when you try to do things, when you try to go out there and you try to be successful, all of these things go into your mind instantly. It's not like something that you got to think about. It's not something that you got to think about. This is stuff that because of the foundation that you have right now in you, soon as you have any issues with feeling uncomfortable, soon as you have any issues with the uncertainty of something that you're going to do, all of that stuff is instant, and it will play an effect on what you try to do on the outside. And this here has more power. This has more power than this, because you will figure out this stuff here. If you are consistent, if you allow yourself to just go for it, to just put a plan of action in place and just go for it and make adjustments as you go, you will figure out this part. But the hardest part for people is right here, because number one, the doubts that you have came from family and friends, what they've done, what they've been able to do, what they told you, and then the environment, what you've seen, what you see on a daily basis. How did you grow up? Did you grow up around money? How did your family spend money? What do you see on a daily basis? Is it in a low-income community? Is it in a rich community? All of these things are really just like your computer, and it's feeding into you, and you're reacting. So if you do that math again, a 2 + 2, if you have a poor, if you come from a family that didn't have money, and come from a family that doesn't save money, come from a family that doesn't know anything about a business, when you try to do your math, your 2 + 2, it's not going to equal out, because you're already behind the 8 ball when you look at this right here from what you've learned from your family. Again, when you look at your environment, it's going to minus out. Look at what you learn on a daily basis. You're not even going to have that to even put your equation. How do you feel in the morning? Do you feel, like sad? Do you have feelings of anxiety? Like all of the things. Do you wake up worried all the time? Look at that. So you can't have those types of feelings and get to success. You will end up crashing. And then those thoughts, like what do you have? Negative thoughts? Do you have positive thoughts? What is going through your mind on a daily basis? That will have a huge effect on your business. A lot of people think that business owners are like robots, that you just come to work, you just do away with all that stuff. And the more successful business owners could actually go through all of this. Successful business owners could have issues with all of this, and they just make one adjustment to be able to keep that math equation working. What is that adjustment? To keep that math equation working, which will be success. And I just said the word. Put in the work. No matter what type of family you grew up in, because we see examples of people who grew up in very poor families. We see people who grew up in violent families, dysfunctional families become successful. We see it all the time. Environment. We see people who grew up in a poor environment We see people who saw things like violence on a daily basis. We see people who had poor feelings about themselves. They had, they just had a hard time growing up. We seen people who have poor thoughts about themselves. Not to say that you don't need to work on those things, because there's people who become successful, and if they don't eventually work on this stuff here, they will eventually crash their success. We see that a lot, especially now, because you got to be strong on the inside to even be able to compete on the outside. It's not the reverse. You don't compete hard on the outside and you're weak on the inside. That's going to end up showing with your results. So the next thing is you put in the work. You put in the work. So what I mean by that is, what you do is you have your plan of action, and regardless of what's going on the outside, it's like you're manipulating your thoughts. You're manipulating, telling your body, like you're saying, hey, all of this stuff could be going on. All of this stuff could be going on, but I control this right here. I control this, those thoughts. I control that. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself thinking the right way, and I'm going to be focused right here. Put it in the work. Regardless if you see results right away or not, I'm going to put in the work. And when you do that day after day after day, it helps you overcome a lot of the issues that you may have on this side with internal, and a lot of the issues that you have on the external, because you're going to be focused on the work. You're going to be getting things done. You're going to be having small steps of successes. You're going to be making progress on a daily basis, and you will see that you will start to see life a different way. You will start to see other people in a different way. You will get more clarity. You will get more certainty, because you will say to yourself, no, I'm not 100% certain if these actions are going to equal that, but every day that I put in the work, I know I'm going towards that success. Because if you don't get your mind thinking that way, you won't even put in the work, and you know you're going to be going the other direction. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video. Please subscribe. Please share. Post your questions and comments. If you are looking for any services with marketing or learning how to market your business, there are links below this video where you can take advantage of those opportunities. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams with